everyone, welcome. Today we have another video on chess basics. Last week we looked at just the basic strategies and what things you have to be looking at when you're playing a game. And today I wanted to give you a kind of um, a example of a sort. I'm going to play a game with a bot. I recommend playing games with bots because they do give you a pretty consistent um, level that is some people you're going to meet here with ratings of 500 are probably going to be way better than that, and other people are going to not be as good as most 500s are, and that kind of influxes do impact your games a lot. And I want to be able to focus on playing games with levels that are pretty consistent, just so you can gauge where you're at. Yeah, so I would definitely recommend beginner levels. We have Martin and we also have Janjay, and these two I would recommend the most. Martin is he is not a good player. That's all we can say. He is the worst player that we have. We also have Adaptive, and I don't know, in a lot of ways, he is to me like playing an actual players, so you really can't gauge what kind of level you're at, but you can also look at the game analysis that is provided for you afterwards, and we're going to be looking at that too. So yeah, you can play Martin, Jimmy, and Jandre. And another reason I like playing with bots more than people is that you don't have time pressure. And it, especially as a beginner, I think the most important thing is thinking a lot. You need to be able to look at your position and get better. And it's in the first, I think, 300 ELOs, I guess, from about 400 to 700. People aren't going to be thinking that hard. Most people aren't going to be analyzing their positions probably as well as they should. But then once you get to 800 and as you get higher and higher, people are going to be thinking a lot. And if you do not have the habit of thinking, if you have the habit of just rushing ahead, I think that will be detrimental to actually getting a higher rating. Yeah, so we're going to be looking at Jimmy. Um, because I have a kind of a time control, because I can't have this video be like 30 minutes, I will be thinking kind of fast, but I'll be just talking through it, kind of analyzing all the different ideas that are in each kind of position. And yeah, let's get started. I'm going to play with Martin today because I just want to show you that even if you're playing a really bad player, you have a lot to think about. So as for the opening, we just haven't covered it yet, but we're going to be looking at it soon. And the basic ideas is having your two center pawns out here and then developing your knights and bishops and then castling quickly. And that's kind of it. Okay, already. So I think immediately we kind of see something. So we had this knight attacking our pawn here, right? And I defended it with my knight over here. And so if they took this knight, then I could take them, right? And they don't want it because the knight is more valuable than a pawn. So they didn't take it and instead they moved their knight. And now I can kind of do the same thing. I can attack this knight and then, I can kind of do that sort of thing. And because these are both 3 points, it really wouldn't matter. But I don't know. I don't want to get rid of my pieces too quickly. We've just started the game, so I just won't do that. I'll just move my bishop, kind of developing. And yeah, they have moved their c pawn. They are attacking our pawn over here. Do I want to take it? Well, if I take it, I think it really allows the bishop to come into the game very easily, and I don't want that to happen. I want to make their developing as slow as possible. So I will take it, and I'll just move my knight defending the pawn. Yeah, I'm very sorry if this is too fast for you. You feel free to slow down the video or even pause before I analyze the position at all, just to see what you can see and compare that with what other people will see. Yeah, so they moved their king. I I'll just continue to develop. I'll just move my bishop here. They moved back. Now, just a general heads up, moving back in chess is generally not good. Moving back a piece you have spent a move developing, there is generally not a lot of good reason to just completely move back if you're not like redirecting. And so, yeah, that is a not a very good move. But I'm ready to castle now. I can castle this way. I can move my queen and castle this way as well. Um, yeah, I think I'll just castle. Okay, now they moved back, so they spent 3 moves on this knight only. So they went out, went back in, and then went out again, which is very questionable. Now that I have castled, I'm going to use my strategy, move my rooks to the middle, and then I'm going to launch an attack on the king, opening up the center and all. Okay, so they just moved their pawn, and this is not a very good move immediately because this pawn is unprotected because I can just take it and this is not a good attack. When you're making attacks, you need to be thinking about every possible move that the other player can play to analyze it fully. Yeah, so I have 2 ways of recapturing. I can recapture with my queen. I can recapture with my knight. I think I'll do it with my queen because my queen hasn't played any roles yet. Okay, they moved their queen here and they're attacking my bishop also, but it's okay because it's protected by this knight. So what can I do? I can give a check actually. I can go here and give that check, but then then this queen would eat it. Yeah, let's just see what I can do in this position. I think I'll just do this. Attacking this knight, so it has to move, and I can just retake like this. Okay, that's very interesting. And now what can I possibly play? Well, again, the principles were checks, captures, and attacks. What checks can I make? Well, a check that I can give is this, but then the pawn would just take. Another check is this. I actually think that's pretty good because then the pawn will come up here to protect it, and I can take, something like that, maybe opening up the position a bit. Maybe I can do this check, but then they would just take it like that. And yeah, I think this check is pretty good. Just a forcing move to get this game going a bit. That's another check actually. And then they have to take. And then I think, what do we want to do, guys? What do we want to do? Ooh, okay, that is actually a very good move. So I have not told you about kind of the idea of pins, but basically, do you remember that it is illegal for a king to make a move that will kill them the next move? That's kind of what's happening here. So if I move my knight here, guys, so if I move my knight here and they move their pawn here, then my rook could take the king in the next move, right? It could just go here. So it is illegal for the king to capture my knight, and therefore my knight is safe, completely safe from the king, from the pawn taking it like this. And this is a kind of a difficult topic. We're going to be looking at this in more advanced courses, but this is an idea that you can be looking out for. And this is kind of the importance of continuing to continually looking at the different strategies that you can use, looking at the patterns, and just continually developing your ideas. Yeah, okay, so let's look at this position. I kind of played this move just to show you that this is a tactic that can work. I was not looking into all the possibilities. Okay, what can we do? Oh, this is actually a tricky position. I wonder what Martin would do if I did this. So this is obviously a bad move because if I went here, the knight here on this square would come and eat me, and then I could take again, but then the king would eat me. So I am basically trading these two with these two, which is obviously an unfair match, but I don't know if Martin would really see that. So let's try it. Oh, they did see it. Oh, okay. Okay, so I am currently down a point. I'm supposed to be down 2 points, but I had a pawn advantage previously, so I am kind of doing okay, I feel like. Yeah, so another kind of rule of thumb in chess is that when you're down pieces, when you're at a disadvantage, don't trade. Because the more pieces you have, the more complex the structure is, and so the more opportunities you have of actually kind of getting an advantage, even if the situation's not looking so good. Hmm. I need to avoid trading, so I won't take that rook there, even if it's a fair trade. And what can I do? I'm just gonna redirect my knight, kind of. Oh, this just completely hangs a piece. Ooh, okay. Let's look at the possibilities here now. So this rook is attacking this bishop, but it's protected. So if I can somehow get this king away, I would be able to take that bishop because I can kind of actually, let's see. Yeah, this is attacking this possibly, and then I'll go here into, oh, okay. That is just a full sacrifice of a rook for absolutely nothing. I'm very confused. Yeah, that okay. Yeah, don't make moves like this. Don't make moves without thinking. Just like completely just sacrificing your rook. What else do we have? Okay, so yeah, I'm just looking to prey upon this square. The reason the king can't take it is again because I have this rook, and oh, this is another very good move. That's a check, and the king has to move, and I can take this rook. Again, I'm using tactics that are very difficult, probably because you just haven't practiced this, and I am very excited to kind of introduce you to all these different ideas. Yeah, so let's go do that. Oh, they didn't even take my knight. They could have taken it, but they didn't. I wonder what they'll do. So two pieces are hanging now, but I'm up so many pieces right now that it does not matter. And then and yeah, usually how you would end a game like this is you can attempt to do checkmate here, and we're going to be looking at different checkmate strategies, but usually you are going to promote your pieces here, and you have to be careful of stalemate. That is the most important thing. Make sure that all your last moves are checks because stalemates are just very annoying. That's the worst way to draw a game. Yeah, so that is how you can beat Martin. These kind of ideas are going to be in your games until you become a intermediate player. And so as you go up the ladder from a novice to a beginner to an advanced beginner and intermediate, these kind of ideas will continue to resonate. And yeah, and just a heads up, if you have a created account, you can actually see game reviews, and I'm going to be looking at how to use game reviews in a separate video, hopefully next week or the week after that. Yeah, but I just think that playing lots of games is important, but also studying them very closely and thinking while you're actually playing the game is much more important than that. And I want you to kind of use all the games to your advantage without don't play game after game without thinking. You need to be deeply analyzing in each of the games that you play. And I kind of sped up things. I normally do not play that fast, but yeah, I think taking your time is so important here. And obviously, I'm a beginner too. I have been playing for 3, 4 years now, but there are people who've been playing for 7, 8 years who are just absolute geniuses at it. So yeah, I think it's really a great journey for me to learn as well, and I'm so grateful to have this opportunity. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me, and I hope that you can continue to improve in your chess journey, and that I'll see you next week. Thank you so much, and bye bye.